Ms. McDowell, you say you have no doubt that your 1-month-old daughter, Annabelle, is your husband's biological child because you claim you only had sex with Mr. McDowell during the window of conception.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. McDowell, you say your wife is nothing but a cheater and you believe that the man she left you for, Mr. Alfred, is in fact Annabelle's father.
Yes,
You
Your Honor.
say that once the DNA results prove the child is not yours, you want out of this marriage.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. McDowell, how has this situation affected you and your family?
Well, the children we have lost their mother. I'm a single father at the moment. I'm taking care of them by myself. And I mean, it all went down like she just one day told me she was going to go to her friend, a female friend's house and spend a few hours.
Your Honor, that's not true.
And then she called me later that night and said she was going to end up spending the night. Well, the next day, the female friend she went to go spend the night with called me and said she walked into the home and caught her, Miss McDowell, and her boyfriend on the couch cuddling.
That's a lie.
Whenever I brought it to Miss McDowell's attention that I knew about it, she said that's what friends do.
Yes, I admit, I did sleep in the same bed with the dude. No, we were not cuddling, and no,
But we are married. You don't sleep in a bed with another dude during a marriage.
But
I mean,
me, him, and the friend that I went and stayed the night with was drinking that night. We went to the store, and on our way back, he's going to tell me that I could sleep with this dude in front of him and watch me mess around with this dude. And I told him, I said, no, I'm your wife, and that's not right.
Did you suggest that, Mr. McDowell?
I do not recall that. No, Your Honor, I do not. We were all drinking, and that was before the fact of her going up there and spending the 3 days.
To me, that sends up a red flag. So I told him I needed time away, a week at least, to think about what I needed to do.
But within that week, they slept together? I mean,
stay in the relationship.
Because he made that request, that rubbed you the wrong way, and you said you needed time away to think.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then what happened?
Well, I went out to my friend's house. Dude was my friend, and the chick was my friend. I did not know she was planning on leaving that night. It's the whole reason I ended up asking to stay the night.
But you ended up in the bed with this guy.
Yes, Your Honor.
At some point in this marriage, I mean, no matter how messy, difficult it has been, you end up pregnant and you tell your husband?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what was his response?
It's not mine.
It's not mine.
I said, I told him that it has to be his because me and him had sex on October the 27th when we were heading to go get our other 3 kids.
I do not recall that.
He's a liar, Your Honor.
And since then, she jumped from boyfriend to boyfriend, coworker to coworker. She was with like 5 or 6 different guys.
No, Your Honor, I was with 4 different guys, and I have proof here that, yes, I did. We had sex on the 27th, and also I had sex with Mr. Alfred on the 9th and the 10th of November.
Let me see this proof.
And then I also have proof from what my midwife told me that my conceiving week was, and that's the week I had sex with Mr. McDowell on the back road.
This first page of evidence is a calendar.
I mean,
yes, Your
Honor.
It shows on the 27th of October, you were intimate with your husband,
yes,
Mr. McDowell. And then on the 9th and the 10th of November, you were intimate with the other man in question.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's Mr. Alfred.
And here I have where it shows the week of me conceiving my child.
May I see that, Jerome? And then on this calendar, you say your midwife gave you a date of conception, a window.
Yes, Your Honor.
And she said that that was the week of October 26th.
Yes, Your Honor.
Which means the 27th is when you slept with your husband, Mr. McDowell.
Yes,
So
Your Honor.
you figured it was his child.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because there was no one else you slept with for at least 2 weeks.
That the baby was
Yes,
mine
Your
because
Honor.
I slept with her, allegedly slept with her a week before the next guy did.
Because you're saying you don't even remember that happening.
I mean, I will admit I allowed her to perform oral activities on me, but we did not physically do anything that could acquire a baby. I believe she boiled this plan up in her mind to get money for my family because my mother supported her through our last 3 pregnancies. And she believed that if she had my mother fooled to believe that it was my kid, that she can get whatever she wanted, food, money, clothing. And I told my mother not to help her, and she did it behind my back anyway.
Your Honor, I paid his mother.
Your mother's here. I'd like to hear from her. Please stand, ma'am. Thank you for being here, Ms. Combs. You've been here in this courtroom once before, am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were here with your nephew.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you're here with your son.
Yes, ma'am.
He just said that during the pregnancy, you took Ms. McDowell in. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Please explain.
Well, it's not my grandchild, first of all.
You don't believe it's your grandchild?
May I say one more thing? We had a court scheduled in our town. I was walking down the hallway. I was running late for court. She did not know where I was coming. I tucked in behind the corner to where no one could see me, and I overheard her telling somebody and laughing that she knew the child wasn't mine and that she was just playing us for the money.
No, Your Honor, that is not true.
Yes, I did, because
I said that I did not
and
think
I asked him, and he confirmed it.
He asked me if
to
it
me,
was,
why does a
if
whore
Mr.
walk
McDowell's
around
child.
throwing different
Miss
people all
Combs,
the
let's be
time?
respectful.
He asked
Well,
me
you know,
if
it's
I thought it
pathetic
was Mr.
when she
McDowell's
was to
child.
sit around
I
and screw
said,
Tom, Dick, and Harry, and then just blame one person as the daddy.
Like,
yeah, like
at
he
the
said,
time, yes.
the reason why it is
Like she
is
drew a name
because
out of a hat and
everything
said, "This
she's
is it."
got and she's had, I've supported her because her and her ain't nothing but trash.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. What I want to know is, if you didn't believe the child was your grandchild, why did you take her in?
Because she told me from day one that it was his, like she's saying now. I believed her as a grandmother.
Well, it looks
I'm
nothing
gonna
like
do.
me.
So at first you believed.
Yes, ma'am.
Looks nothing
I
like
took
me
her
nor
to
the
the
other three
doctors. She called me wanting food. She called me wanting money. I've done her and her boyfriend's laundry.
And I told her repeatedly not to do it, and she did it behind my back anyway.
I even give her and her
Your Honor.
boyfriend money to come and do stuff at my house just to earn money.
You knew it was her boyfriend, or you found out later?
No, I knew it was her boyfriend. I tried to work it to where they could get back together because my thought, even though she's a whore, that her...
Ma'am, you
they
have to use respectful language.
I'm sorry.
Do not use that language.
But to me, they had 3 children together, and she should be not a slut on the street, that's not a cuss word, but a slut on the street and be a mother to these children because it's not their fault. They didn't ask to be born. And I let her stay with me and paid everything that she needed, got her stuff, whatever, so she could work things out between her and him. And she kept going right back to the same boy over and over and over.
If she honestly believed the child was mine, then why did she refuse my and my family's appearance at the hospital during birth? I have not laid eyes on that baby personally since it's been born.
Your Honor,
I have not seen it in person.
I did not refuse him.
You have not.
Have not.
Yes,
This is the best picture I've seen of it
We've not
to date.
seen that child.
And honestly, I don't think it looks
I
like
did
me
not
nor the other
refuse.
3 kids we have. The other 3 kids we have, all 3 came out looking identical. Like, there's no comparison at all. This is not my kid.
Your Honor, I did not refuse them to come up to the
Yes, you
hospital. I
did.
told them I did not want no drama at the hospital
You
while
told
I
us-
was in delivery, and if it came down to it, I would have them removed.
I mean,
So now we keep talking about this boyfriend. I want to understand this relationship. This is
Me
with
too.
Mr. Alfred.
Yes.
When did he really get in the picture? What?
Well, all right, November the 9th, I sat there and messaged him on Facebook, seeing if I can come over and chill with him and hang out. And then, yes, we ended up having sex that night.
the first night you...
While you're
First night?
married?
Yes, Your Honor. He asked me to come back the next day, and I told him I would. Well, we ended up getting together that next day, which is November the 10th. And we had sex that day, too.
And now you're boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yes. Now,
Probably during the marriage, too. Because after they got
No.
together is when she came over and was performing the oral on me. So I mean,
No,
she
it
was
was
sneaking
not.
behind his back and coming and seeing me at my mother's.
no, it was not. You're a liar.
Okay, who was at the birth?
Not me.
Mr.
Not me.
Alfred was
I
at
have
the
no
birth.
clue.
He supported
Mr.
me.
Alfred.
Whenever,
He supported me
whenever
the
she
whole
was
9 months
pregnant,
while I was pregnant and thinking that it is Michael's child, and I still think it's Michael's child.
So Mr. Alfred supported you and went to the birth and witnessed the birth of this child, but knowing that it was
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
McDowell's child.
Yes, Your Honor.
Jerome, I think it's time we meet Mr. Alfred.
She's playing
Can
both
you
sides.
escort him in the courtroom? This is just a mess.
I mean, honestly, he probably is not the father neither.
I'll have you go up to the witness stand right
There's no telling who it is.
steps. All right.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Alfred. I have to ask you, do you believe your baby Annabelle's biological father?
Personally, I don't believe me or Michael, either one or the father. I think it might be the gentleman that she
Told
was
you.
with before she tried to work
that?
things out with Michael.
What's interesting here is you say the baby's your husband says the baby's your lover, and your lover says the baby's by another.
explains what
Your
I
Honor,
said.
the reason why he thinks it's by another person is because the dude I was with before October.
Or one of the multiple other guys you were with.
Ms. McDowell, respectfully, how many men were you sleeping with?
I was with 4 dudes, 4 dudes all together. That's including Mr. Alfred and McDowell.
I had also found messaging from Facebook from this other gentleman to Mrs.
I can relate to
McDowell
that.
asking about her pregnancy and the child. And to me, that seems kind of fishy. Why would he be asking unless he thought he might be the father as well?
So
I
she
know of
said you were
5.
at the birth.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign the birth certificate?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
You did.
Yes, ma'am.
So you were married to Mr. McDowell, but Mr. Alfred, you were there at the birth and you signed the birth certificate.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you just said, that sounds good to me, I'm signing up.
Yeah, 'cause
Basically, yeah.
Considering he was there for the whole 9
I-
months.
So you didn't believe you were the child's biological father, but you were happy to be the child's legal father. You wanted to acknowledge paternity.
But we already have 3
For the
kids
simple
together.
fact is, the 3 children that they have together now, he likes to hold over her head. He refuses her visits and stuff
She
like that.
refuses to come and see him. She
tries
ain't
to
been to
go-
see him
she
in
tries
6
to
to
go
8
church.
months.
She tries to go to
Every time Mr. Alfred kicks her out because of an argument, she comes running straight to my doorstep asking if
I
I'll
have
take
not
her back.
done it here recently.
Or
at
my
all.
house.
split up
No, not
one
since the
time.
I
baby's
said
been
not
born.
recently, but you've done it?
We've only
Yes,
split up
I
one
have
time
done
in
it.
9 months.
Whenever we've been into it and he's put me out,
Every time they've been
I have
into it.
ran to my mother-in-law because I was pregnant. And yes, like I said, it's Mr. McDowell's baby. So yes, I'm going to run to my mother-in-law for support. She
But
told
then
me
at the
if I
same-
needed anything, that I could depend on her for anything.
That's the only reason why she claims it's my kid is so she can get that kind of support. I
No.
mean, once she became 3 months pregnant and I was informed she was pregnant, she dropped all visits with the current 3 kids we have. She has not visited or anything at them for
he's
about
a
6
liar.
months now.
And what's interesting is, Ms. McDowell, you're saying the baby's your husband's, but you're in a relationship with Mr. Alfred.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he signed the birth certificate.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he supported you through the birth.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you still believe this is Mr. McDowell's child.
Yes, Your Honor.
If she believes it's mine, then why would she have somebody else sign the certificate?
Because he supported me through the whole 9 months and he was
It
there at
doesn't
her
matter.
birth.
To my knowledge,
I have
the
custody
first
of the
5 months
prior
of her
3
pregnancy,
kids.
she believed that it was Mr. McDowell's. Up until the 6th month on, she tried to claim that it was mine.
Exactly.
I personally believe
Exactly.
she just was trying to see who would take her in and support
Who would
her.
give her the most money and feed her better?
But like I said, I don't believe the baby's mine. I hope the results are different because, like I said, we are in a relationship together.
So you want the child to be yours, but you don't believe the child is yours.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm looking at you now, Ms. McDowell, and it seems like you're getting emotional. What are you feeling?
If somebody asked,
Let her speak.
yes, ma'am.
I'm upset that my boyfriend don't believe me. And I mean, I'm upset that everything that's going on, and truthfully, I hope that that baby is Cody, Mr. Alfred's. Because he supported me through everything, even whenever I was depressed. I mean, he's been there. Even whenever I needed him the most, he's been there.
I love this girl with all my heart, and that's the reason why I supported her through the whole 9 months.
I've had no relationship with my own father, so I don't want her to go through it. I don't even know who my father is, and I don't want her to have to go through the same thing. I'd rather her know who her father is and have a father and be there for her. I'd rather her be supported by a father, and she needs a man in her life.
All right. Jerome, I'm ready for the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Mcdowell versus Mcdowell, when it comes to 1-month-old Annabelle Alfred, as to whether Mr. McDowell or Mr. Alfred is the biological father, Mr. Alfred, you are her father.
Thank God.
Mom was right.
How does it feel, Mr. Alfred?
I mean, it feels great. It feels amazing. My mother was right the whole time. And just, like I said, given so many different people that she had been with within the timeline, this is the reason why I had doubts.
Ms. McDowell, that was the answer you wanted.
Yes, Your Honor. It is. Just so I won't have to deal with him with another kid. And that I'll be able to always be around her.
Mr. McDowell, it seemed that this was the answer you wanted as well.
Yes, Your Honor, it is. I'm relieved.
But you still have other children together.
Yes, we do.
And I'm hoping that this truth, this clarity, will help relieve some of the doubt, some of the anxiety, some of the negative energy, so that maybe you all can at least begin to co-parent the other 3 children. Are you all legally divorced yet?
Not yet, but it's coming soon after this. There's no doubt the divorce is going through. I'm through with this.
I can't wait. I'm ready to get my last name back.
Ms. Dallas, you have dragged the defendant, Mr. Stewart, into court today to prove that he is the father of your newborn son, 1-month-old Lamar. You say you are shocked that he's denying he's baby Lamar's biological dad, especially since you discovered he's the one leading a double life. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Stewart, you claim that it's Ms. Dallas who's been far from faithful, and you believe that baby Lamar's dad could be any one of multiple men. So, Ms. Dallas, take us to your relationship before you found out about Mr. Stewart's alleged double life.
I met Cedric with Mr. Stewart in June of 2016. I was out having breakfast with my friend, probably about 6 o'clock in the morning, and he walked up to me or whatever, offered to pay for my breakfast or whatever. After that, we exchanged numbers, and from there, we hooked up a couple of times or whatever.
So first you just dating casually.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we always had to get a room, and I used to ask him, like, I'm tired of going to the room, can we go to your house? You said you have a house, you own it. And he was like, I have unwanted company there. So I'm like, unwanted company? I'm like, you got a girlfriend? He like, no. I'm like, you have a baby mom there? He like, no. I'm like, you got a wife? And then he was like, yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's when he proceeded to tell me, like, oh, they are separated, they're going through a divorce.
So, Mr. Stewart?
Yes, you're right.
Did you meet Miss Dallas, date her casually, have sex with her, and finally, only later tell her that you were married?
It didn't quite go like that.
How did it go?
It didn't come up. I felt like it didn't come up.
How did it not come up?
It didn't.
That's relevant information, is it not?
Yeah, true that. Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
So wait, you were basically out acting like a single man?
No, I wasn't acting. Yeah. Yes. Yes, Your Honor. Sorry about that.
I'm glad you just went on ahead and
Your
told the
Honor.
truth.
I had to think about it.
Okay, so you were out there acting like a single man, but you were married.
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you getting a divorce then?
I wasn't I didn't have it filed, but in my head, yeah, I was getting a divorce.
In your head.
That means you were still married.
Yes.
Moving on. So, how often did you see one another? If you're married with your wife living at home.
Oh, that's it. Every day. Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah, every day he would come over there when he get off work. Only time he probably went to his house and when he went to go change his clothes or put on his work clothes.
Mr. Stewart, during this time, were you still intimate with your wife?
No, not at the time. Like, we were,
Why?
I don't know how to put it, but it's like we were living together, but we were having problems of our own,
So, Ms. Dallas, once you found out he was married, did you have second thoughts about dating a married man?
Yes, I did have second thoughts, but once everything started hitting the floor, like, I was already pregnant. You know what I'm saying? I love Cedric, and he was telling me, like, I'm gonna do the divorce, we're gonna have a house, all this, we're gonna raise our son together, I was believing him because that's all I had to do was believe him,
So he had you high off the promises and drunk off the dreams. It was all, it was flowing.
Right.
All right, now listen, this is what happens.
Okay.
When you're a married man out there trying to probably keep this young girl
And date his wife too.
and have your wife too.
No.
But at some point you found out you were pregnant and that will sober you up.
Yeah, I thought everything was gonna be okay after that. And then when I found out I was pregnant, Cedric was happy or whatever.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
So you were genuine, even though you were still married to your wife, you were happy your mistress was pregnant.
Yes.
Do you have any other children?
Yes.
You do, how many?
3.
With your wife?
No. We have no kids in common.
But you have 3 children from a previous relationship?
Yes.
How long have you been married?
10 years?
So you found out about this baby and you were happy?
Yes.
But you didn't have doubt at that time if you were happy?
No.
He started beginning doubt. So-called my associate was telling him and his wife that I was sleeping around with multiple men when I conceived Lamar.
Someone that knew you?
Yeah.
They start giving you information?
Yeah. But it was the same friend that sent him naked pictures of herself to him, telling him that I was, sleeping around with somebody else. So why wouldn't she say that she want to sleep with you? You know?
Did the friend send you naked pictures, Mr. Stewart?
Yes, Your Honor. But
so don't you believe that would discredit?
Yeah, that's why I did. Yeah, that's one of my doubts. You know what I mean?
That's just one?
Yes.
What's your other doubt?
Well, the other doubt was like, when he got here, he don't look like me. Look at his hair, he look mixed.
He don't look mixed.
Look mixed.
All babies come out with fine hair, and I'm pretty sure
So
at what
point do you have to come clean with your wife about this baby?
I told her.
Picture of the strip.
Because when me and Cedric were supposed to be together, Roberta sent me a picture of him and Cedric in the bed. Now Cedric has my name tattooed on him. She sent me a picture. She sent me a picture of him and her in the bed naked together.
His wife sends a picture to you of them in the bed.
Yes, and he was asleep and she was taking a picture. She sent it to me. And
after you're pregnant?
No, she didn't know I was pregnant. We was in a hospital at the time all this was going on. And I found out I was pregnant, and I sent her a picture of the pregnancy test.
Oh, you sent his wife a picture of the pregnancy test?
Yeah.
Jerome, I want to hear from his wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please escort Ms. Stewart into the courtroom.
Got it.
Good morning, Ms. Stewart. Thank you for joining us today. This testimony is troubling.
Yes, very troubling. And it was not true.
What part of the testimony do you disagree?
How they met. Cedric met her online.
Okay. And so you believe he was actually looking for
exactly
a relationship outside the marriage?
I wouldn't say a relationship, but relations.
Relations.
Exactly.
Do you believe Ms. Dallas knew he was married from the beginning?
I wouldn't say she knew from the beginning, but she knew very, very early.
And how do you know that is for certain?
She called me.
And said?
She was just saying, like, are you and Cedric still together? And
no, I never called you and said that, Roberta.
She said, are you and Cedric still together? There's no need to even lie. I have receipts that I brought.
Okay, let me see
she
this
was
evidence.
met online and not just by Cedric.
So, Ms. Stewart, you're claiming that what you've presented to the court are messages which indicate she was not just entertaining your husband,
but multiple
men.
Yes.
That's not true.
Well, I definitely see plenty of interaction between Ms. Dallas and various men.
Those inboxes are what they send me. You don't see nothing of me sending nothing back to them. I can't help when nobody send me on Facebook or whatever they asking me.
So, Ms. Stewart, you believe that Ms. Dallas was having sex with multiple men.
Exactly.
In addition to your husband.
Exactly.
And that's why you doubt that this child is your husband's biological child.
Exactly.
Ms. Dallas, were you intimate with anyone else around the time baby Lamar was conceived?
No.
Anybody else?
No, not at all.
Does Mr. Stewart have a relationship with baby Lamar?
Yes.
He participated in doctor's appointments. He was there?
Yes.
And at the birth he was there?
Yes.
Did he sign the birth certificate?
Yes.
So, Mr. Stewart, why would you sign the birth certificate if people have been telling you that she was also sleeping with other people and you had doubt?
Guess I had been there so long, you know what I mean? She got other kids, you know what I mean? I got a relationship with them, so I wouldn't just be gone.
Wait a minute, now you standing next to your wife and you telling me how you gonna be there for your mistress. I'm getting confused. Who are you actually with right now? Who are you with? Who are you actually with right now? Who are you with?
Cedric.
Lakeitha.
So you and Miss Dallas are together.
Yeah, we live together.
You
we
live
don't
together.
We kind of, you know.
Well, what's that?
You know what I
We
mean?
live together, but
we
you go
moved
back and
in
forth.
together, but we go back and forth. Like she done moved out and came
2
back.
days.
You know what I mean? And
Are you all divorced or still married?
legally, we're still married.
We're still married.
Miss Stewart, what do you want? Do you want this marriage to work? Are you...
Roberta knows what Roberta has to do for herself at this point. Cedric has 3 children of his own that he has neglected to take care of her children.
No, that's not true, because me and him take the baby over there and my other kids to go see
Lakeitha-
his daughter and his
Lakeitha
son. You
has
always say
4
that, Roberta.
children.
No, you're not going to do him like that.
Lakeitha
Try to
has-
say he don't do for his kids because he
Lakeitha
with
has
me.
4. I've been with this man for 14 years.
Okay,
I know.
and I've been with
His
him for the
son-
past year.
You haven't
And
been with.
It doesn't
You
matter.
haven't even
Just
been
'cause
knowing
the
Cedric
time
a
you
year
think
yet.
that
You haven't even been knowing
Okay,
Cedric
it
a year
doesn't matter.
yet.
I'm telling you
You
what
can
he's
Cedric
doing
and
while I've
June.
been-
Ladies.
And then Lakeitha also told him that she has all her children 2 months early.
No, I did not.
That's why the timing did not add up.
No.
Did Lakeitha not tell you that?
manipulated me on that time and stuff, but
Did
like I
Lakeitha
said,
not tell you that?
manipulate
Did
her.
Lakeitha not tell you she have her kids 2 months
No,
early?
you told me
No,
she
I
said
did
that.
not. Right.
You told me she
You
said
tried to
my
add up the
goodness.
You told me
days
she
since I
said
have
So
my
what's
son
this
too
issue
early.
about the timeline, though?
Because I'm big. You know, they was going off the measurement of my belly. I just started showing I was like 8 months really getting a round belly and stuff or whatever, but the measurements was threw off, but the ultrasound was right on point.
So wait a minute. You all have so much information. You all have had so much conversation.
I only
It's
spoke to her
like you,
one
the
time.
women have all the facts, and I can't get a straight answer out of Mr. Stewart.
For real? I figure I'm being straight here. What you wanna
No,
know?
you're not.
You
You
not
really
being straight
are.
because you said you wasn't gonna get on here and try to make me look like a fool because you didn't want to be
Man,
with
you
Lakeitha.
trying to make yourself look like a
I'm
fool.
not
We
trying to
don't hear
make-
about paternity. You trying to tell her life story, your life story.
We're telling
that
the
ain't got nothing to
truth.
do with the
We're here
baby.
to tell the truth.
You feel me?
That's what we're here for. We're here to see why would you question paternity if you had no doubts? You questioned paternity
question
on the reason
paternity
you
on
met
anything
her.
I had.
You had questioned paternity
Mama's
when
baby
she
daddy's
first
maybe, boo.
when she first told you she was pregnant. You asked for a
Mama's
DNA
baby.
test, and Lakeitha also told me I'm going to give him a paternity test.
Right, we agreed on that before I even got, when we found out I was pregnant. Me and him agreed to do a
Yeah,
paternity
we
test.
sure did.
Both of the women, you all have been in touch. You all have had conversations. You all basically know exactly what's happening here, and you know he's playing you all.
Yes.
But you still standing here getting played. That's what I'm trying to understand. Why? And you're arguing with one another, but nobody's holding him accountable.
Oh, I hold him accountable for everything.
No, she
because
don't.
I did
She
not,
holds me.
Let me tell you
No,
this,
she
Your
don't.
Honor. I did not marry Lakeitha. I married this person
Right, so
here.
why try to harass me?
My
and-
issue is with Cedric,
No,
not
she doesn't
Lakeitha.
bring it
The
to
only
Cedric.
issue I have with Lakeitha is, okay, if we have women out here like you, what marriage is gonna last? If you know you're sleeping with a married man, no marriage is gonna last because they know they can go to her, or her.
Hold on now, Miss Stewart. It's just your husband's doing. He told me before you came in the courtroom. I said, were you out acting like a single man? He said, yes. That's it. Because when a married man acts like a married man, it ain't nothing Miss Dallas can do.
I don't even think he knows what a married man should act like.
And that is the point. Because you're saying you don't even think he knows what he's supposed to be doing. He's made his own lane, and it's right smack dab in the middle of both of you all's neighborhoods. And he's just going back and forth. So, Mr. Stewart, if baby Lamar is your biological child, are you planning to have a life and a relationship with Miss Dallas?
Yes.
And if he is not your biological child, what then?
I probably go on my own. I don't need nobody.
Miss Stewart, what is Mr. Stewart, your husband, what is he saying to you right now? Miss Dallas is saying, he's saying to her, we're gonna have a house, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do
Cedric
that.
is telling me he's just trying to see if this is his son, because if this is his son, he's going to court to ask for full custody of his son.
Right.
Is
So
he
I don't.
saying that he wants to be with you?
Yeah, he even said that. He was like, this could make us better as a whole. And I'm like, what? I said, I don't want to raise nobody else's
Yo,
child.
it sound like him.
I have I have receipts. where he says that I thought you was gonna help me raise him. I said, Cedric, I don't have a problem with helping you raise your son. But I'm not going to be in the middle of you want to be with her today, her tomorrow, and the next day. I'm not going to be in the middle of that.
All right, well, the only way we're going to move forward in this situation is to get the results. Jerome. Thank you. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Dallas versus Stewart, when it comes to 1-month-old Lamar Stewart, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Stewart, you are the father.
Hey, I told you, baby. I told you. I ain't got no reason to lie at all.
So listen, Ms. Dallas, I see you are in tears because
I go through so much with him and his wife. You don't understand. I go through so much.
And you will continue to go through
But I'm not trying to go through that. I'm not trying to go through that no more at all.
This is what happens, and I'm not saying
what I had to prove.
Listen, Ms. Dallas. What I'm here to ask you all, as we look at this beautiful baby, he's here now. He's your son.
He looked like him.
And look, it is not my place to tell you what to do with your life. But what I am saying, Mr. Stewart, if you don't make a call, your son is gonna grow up amidst this level of toxic behavior. And I'm talking to you because I can see that these two women will go on until kingdom come, arguing back and forth about what Cedric gonna do, what Cedric gonna do. I'm so sick of hearing your name. I really am. Because the thing is, they arguing about you, but you aren't doing anything.